During the ancient era, ships would travel all across the Indian Ocean. They would leave from the ports on the Indus River Delta and sail across the Indian Ocean looking for goods and trade. One specific route would bring goods to the Mesopotamian civilizations. This trade route would, however, not stop in the shores of Ur, but instead the island of Dilmun. The island of Dilmun was an independent trading kingdom located deep in the Persian Gulf. By the 2nd millennium BCE, it had established itself as the major trade centre between India and Sumer. According to Sumerian merchants, Dilmun traded copper from Makan, today a part of Oman, along with Indian carnelian and ivory. As Babylon conquered Mesopotamia, they noticed the riches from Dilmun. As such, in the 15th century BCE, they conquered Dilmun in order to control the goods traded through the Gulf. This would happen again in 1250 BCE, when the Assyrians conquered the Babylonian Empire. From this point, Dilmun became one of their tributary states. After this conquest, inscriptions regarding Dilmun are scarce, perhaps as a product of the Bronze Age collapse. Following this collapse, Dilmun would only be referred again in 567 BCE, when Neo-Babylonian administrative records claimed it to be controlled by the king of Babylon. After the conquest of Babylon by the Achaemenid Empire in 539 BCE, the lands from the Indus Valley to the eastern Mediterranean were connected by a single empire. The trade route could now be diverted inland. Dilmun had lost its importance. It was in 326 BCE, after Alexander's Persian campaigns, that the ancient trade link would be revisited. Nearchus, one of Alexander's officials, sailed across the Indus River to the cities of the Tigris River, and it was on his way, in the midst of the Persian Gulf, that he discovered Dilmun. The island shortly thereafter became known by the Hellenized name of Tylos. That in the island of Tylos, situated in the Persian Gulf, are large plantations of the cotton tree, from which are manufactured clothes called sindanis, of very different degrees of value, some being costly, others less expensive. The use of these is not confined to India, but extends to Arabia. Tylos soon began to be settled by the Greeks. Although they were never a majority population, Tylos became an integral part of the Hellenic world. Archaeologists have discovered numerous Greek artifacts, from synaxes to statues. Greek became the language of a ruling class, but it was far from the only language spoken in Tylos. The island became a broad mixture of the many peoples living under Alexander's control. Eventually, it would become a tributary state of the Seleucid Empire, serving as its base in the Persian Gulf. Tylos would remain an important pearling site for many centuries to come, but its regional prominence would only return in the 20th century, with the discovery and subsequent exploitation of its large natural resources in the modern-day nation of Bahrain. With oil fueling its new economy, Bahrain could at last rival the might and wealth of ancient Dilmun. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more great historical content.